cold. It's chilly. Very wintry. Very wintry. Winter is here. It's not coming. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. Shit. Shit. This is not good. This is bad. We ain't even doing a normal intro. I didn't do a normal intro yesterday. I ain't doing a normal intro today. Yeah, it's a Mazzolini. I can't lie. It's an absolute Mazzolini. Younes, brother, how are you doing? No, that's not the way to start. You know, I know exactly how you're doing. Let me try that again.
Next question.
Good morning. Just that's all I have to say.
Morning. How's life?
Oh,
it's a mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, I've still not contemplated. I mean, well, I have contemplated, but I've woken up exactly the same as I went to sleep, basically. So no changes there. And yeah, the whole thing is in the mud. I stick by that. The whole thing is in the mud.
Baba, brother. Hello to you, my friend. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
When you said good morning to Younes, I don't know what's so good about this morning, to be honest. The way we played yesterday. See, if like this would have been happening under Potter or Lampard, we would be ripping into those managers right now. So it's time we start talking about your guy, Matisse.
Yeah.
we need to talk about.
We're going to talk.
So let's get on with it.
Miz will be here soon, people. He was at a party. I have no idea what condition he will arrive in, just to say that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting when Miz gets here, because I've never seen Miz in this moment. This is going to be fun. Well, I mean, listen, we lost 2-1 to Manchester United, and the scoreline really doesn't tell the story. It was an absolutely shocking performance, abysmal performance. Minimum joint worse, and for me, it feels worse than Newcastle. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it, but it was just that bad. And when it comes down to Pochettino, I mean, I was saying to Younes, I'm not Pochettino out. I'm more Chelsea out at this point. I'm not gonna lie. But he's definitely run out of credit now. You've run out of credit, bro. If you had a phone, you've run out of credit. You're on zero with me. But for others, he didn't have any credit anyway because they didn't want him. But for me, I wanted you. But you've now run out of credit. Like, you are at zero. We're now going back to we're going into the trenches now. We're going straight into crisis mode, because that's what it is. It is crisis mode. But before I carry on, brother, Miz, well, you are clearly not. You're not with us at all. Yeah, Miz is somewhere else.
I don't know what's going on. What are we talking about? What are we actually talking?
Wait, he looks like he's about to show up for a punch up or something. You know, it's to roll the sleeves up. Let's go.
I just came back from my Christmas party, and it was wild. It was wild.
I bet it was.
But yeah, lads, what's going on? Did Chelsea play or something?
Yeah, unfortunately it did. I'm not looking forward to any more of our matches, that's for sure.
Bro.
Something resonated with me yesterday. Yeah, season's done, because you know me, yeah. I had Champions League football in my sights. That's what I'm interested in this season, and even that I wouldn't celebrate because it's not a trophy. However, it's the bare minimum, really. When you spend this kind of money, when you have one game a week, when you have the squad depth that we have, which is allowing us to have this many injuries and still put out an 11, that for me, well, I don't know what that 11 means anymore, because that 11, all it did was win the combined 11, as I said on Twitter, because when people did combined 11s, including me, before the game, people were saying, Chelsea fans were saying to me, you didn't get enough of our players in. You only had 9 when you should have had 10. You only had 8 when you should have had 9 out of 11. I said, wow, shit. Okay, my bad. Well, let's hope we win then. So next time, no. There is no next time.
Do you know what, Matisse? Look, I don't know what you guys were talking about. I just want to get straight into it. We're fucked. That's what we are. We're fucked.
Facts. Yeah, we're
Absolutely fucked.
Seriously.
And let's not beat around the bush. Let's not try and sugarcoat this, because I'm fed up of sugarcoating. I'm fed up of giving excuses. That performance, guys, let's deep it. That's a team everyone laughs at. Do you understand? Like, Matt, every single team across the world, forget about Premier League, every single team across the world laughs at that team. We have just shown the entire world we're actually even worse than them. Do you know how pathetic that is? Like, there's shit, which is them, and then there's a lot of shit under that, and then that's us. That performance embarrassed the living daylights out of me. It really did. Like, at least put up some sort of a performance. Which particular department was good? Defense? No. Midfield? No. Attack? No. Goalkeeper was on and off. Sometimes he was a Man United player, sometimes he was a Chelsea player. But Pochettino, as a manager, I don't know what you do, brother. I honestly don't know. You've been around for a little while with this group. But this group, they're not following your instructions. It's clear and simple. It's clear and simple. And then your captain comes on in the second half. Honestly, I think Reece James got a 0 out of 10. I don't know about you guys. I gave him a 0.
100%. He was so bad. He was so bad.
Bro, he was jogging. He didn't know what day it was. He didn't know what team he was facing. He didn't know what place it was. But the guy was dazzled. He was dazzled.
Do you know what? I'll say this, and I'll be completely honest. I regret giving him captaincy. After that, I actually regret.
Bro, he's not serious, bro. He's not serious.
Bro,
he's not serious.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, because everybody that's getting it is English speaking, right? It's James, and then it's Chilwell, and then it's Colwell, and then it's Gallagher,
joke.
and then it's bro. I'm sorry, I don't care what language you speak, bro. I really don't care. I really don't care what language you speak. It's action that really needed to take place, and really, bro. After that, it's like it's just insane. It's absolutely insane.
You know what's mad? The fact that we're designated a captain based on that criteria. It's the answer. The answer was in our faces all along. If that's the criteria of the captain, because look, if there was an actual real leader there, the language wouldn't be a debate. It would be, yo, that's the captain there. Give him the armband. It's a non-negotiable.
Younes, but our captain is communications minister. That's what it is. Like, it's not based on performance. You're the communication minister. You're the one who's dealing with the referee. You're relaying the information to. You don't need to be good in football.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that last free kick that we got? I don't know. It was 4 or 5 minutes before time when Enzo and Reece James were both on the free kick. So James laid it to him and Enzo smashed it into the wall, and it was a counter-attack opportunity for United, and Garnacho was in a one-on-one situation. That summed it up for me. That moment right there, when your captain, who's supposedly your best academy product in I don't know how long, and he's the one that everyone needs to look up to, is taking like those kind of decisions in those situations. It tells you a lot about the atmosphere and a lot about the as a whole.
I can't believe Poch came into this game and said we don't want to play into Manchester United style, which is transition, and then we got absolutely transitioned.
And on the other hand, on the other hand, Ten Hag before the game when we were speaking said that our defense is a mess and it's there for the taking. And
he said we don't like to defend.
Yeah, we don't like to. Younes, bro, just deep this. The opposition manager is also thinking this is banter era for Chelsea.
Yeah,
the opposition manager is literally out in the public, open, and saying they don't like to defend. Everyone knows this. This is not a secret. They don't like to defend. And this is coming from a manager. This is coming from a manager and a team. They don't like to defend either. Do you understand? Like,
do you know what it is, bro? Like, I've actually banned myself from speaking on Manchester United again because
we can't.
We can't talk about anybody.
We can't. We
Now,
can't talk
now,
about
now
anyone.
it's got to a point where, like you said, their performance was the best performance I've seen from them this season. However, their own fan base, when they really reflect, they'll be like, yeah, but you know, this is we still got things to fix.
100%.
But for us, but now it's like, do you know what? Yeah, you the table doesn't lie. Yeah.
Matisse,
The table really doesn't lie. I thought the table was lying, but the table doesn't lie now.
No, it doesn't lie.
Does not
Matisse,
lie. Doesn't lie.
any other team, that fixture against Man United, they're beating them. This Man United team is nothing special. We had chances, but we're stupid. We're foolish, right? We're foolish. Any other team beats that Man United team at Old Trafford 2-3-0. But we, oh my God, they could have scored 5 or 6, you know, if it wasn't for Sanchez. McTominay is a particular player gets laughed at. He could have had a hattie. He could have had a hat trick.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
And he should have had a hat trick.
That header. Remember that header?
Yeah, and then the rebound. Yeah.
Even Garnacho could have scored 4 goals yesterday.
Yeah.
Bro,
The way he was
how many
getting
times Anthony, we talk about how rubbish he is. Bro, he was on acres of space every time on that right side. Levi Colwill, as a left back, he had no idea what the position, where he needs to be.
Levi Colwill has been poor defensively quite a few times this season.
Quite a few times.
And
Not many people talk about him, Matisse.
It's not spoken about. It's not spoken about. And you know what? It's his first season. He's young. I have no problem him being on the bench because at Brighton, I think he may have played 20 games last season. So he doesn't need to play every single game. But I would have and I said it to you on the phone before we kicked off, I would have much preferred Badiashile to start that game. Even though he's now playing in his natural position at centre back, he's been weak at times this season. He's been fragile and he's been bullied multiple times. And he's still going to have to defend in wide areas, regardless of whether he's playing left side centre back or left back, because you are going to get out there at some point and help your full back, especially when we have wingers that don't fucking track back. Lazy bastards, some of them. Honestly,
did any of you guys see Mudryk the entire game?
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, when he put that ball through for Palmer, I was like, I didn't even know this guy was on.
Do you know who I forgot was on the pitch in the second half? Enzo Fernandez. Didn't even remember him.
Yeah, he was rubbish too.
I genuinely forgot Enzo Fernandez was playing for us. I said his name one time and I was like, oh shit, you're actually on the pitch. Yeah. Him and Caicedo. Wow.
That was so bad. There was
200 million there, you know?
200 million.
Do you know what? I know we've touched on Enzo here and there. You're one player that we don't talk about too much. 115 million for Caicedo.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is bad, bro. This is bad. I mean, this is a player that was so well touted for in Brighton, but honestly, I've not seen a complete package from him in a Chelsea jersey yet. A complete 90 minutes from him.
Do you know what's really concerning me? That pivot off the ball is just as like unreliable at this point in especially in this game, just as like open as we would complain our previous pivots was.
Yeah.
Because Caicedo, the way he hasn't been able to tackle is scaring me.
It's bad, bro. It's
like,
bad.
What do you mean you can't tackle? What do you mean you're mistiming tackles? Are you Gallagher? Like, what's wrong with you? This guy is meant to be the deepest midfielder, not just on the ball to start the first phase, but off the ball. And he's just getting sucked into challenges and losing battles. We look so weak and fragile.
We were getting overrun by McTominay.
That midfield is so weak.
But Amrabat was looking better than them.
Not completely.
Bro, I was some terrible things were going through my mind with that midfield when I watched it against Manchester United. I said it's weak. I said in both boxes it's not looking definitive or decisive.
No,
I couldn't believe it. I thought to myself, what's going on here? Am I having a relapse or something?
Guys, I can guarantee you right now. I'll tell you right now for free. We are not beating Everton at Goodison Park. I'll tell you right now.
Of course not.
Goodison Park, Everton. That's 10 points deducted. They are fighting. They're fighting every game now. We can't even be bothered. Do you know what? Honestly, against Man United, we played 15 minutes of football. I'll tell you what. 10 minutes before the first half ended, we finished strong. And 5 minutes after the second half. We played 15 minutes of football in 90 minutes. 15 minutes.
If that, yeah. Yeah.
If that, and that's
yes, that's
as
probably
Younes,
being
you're saying, like
generous.
it's average. It was average. It was not like scintillating football, groundbreaker. I'm pretty sure Sioun will be out there clipping, little clips and showing to everyone. And what an amazing job Pochettino is doing. And look at the patterns of play in those 15 minutes. Get out, man. And you know what did it for me? Poch after the match,
Bro.
the lads gave everything, bruh. Bruh, we heard
Sackable
this.
offense.
Lads gave everything.
Oh my god.
Lads gave if that was everything, shut the club now. If that was everything.
I have PTSD.
Define everything, Pochettino. Someone should have said to him in the press conference, define what everything is. What is everything? I need explanation. What do you mean by everything?
You know when I saw that, when I saw that, I actually thought it was a meme. I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a troll.
I thought it was satire. Honestly, I thought it was a joke.
Oh, you guys thought like it was a
I thought it was sarcasm. Yeah, I had to check if it was a troll. I thought it was a joke.
And
I didn't
the
watch
excuses,
I didn't watch
and
the
the
post-match.
excuses on the top of that, like we were with 10 men, and they played with the Brighton team played with one extra man. So we were, for the most part of the game last week, we were playing with 10 men. So the players look tired. So what will happen if you're competing in Europe?
Bro, he said, United had one more day than us.
Oh, wow.
Brother, they came from Turkey. They're getting eliminated in the Champions League, yeah? They're getting decimated. They had to travel. They've got European competition. They play in the league. And no, they had one more day than us.
Can I ask, what was all of that? What was that sprint called in pre-season? The Gangan test or something?
The Gangnam dance.
The Gakon or the Gasson or what is it called?
The Gangnam style.
Gangnam style, that's it.
The Gangnam style run, yeah, man.
You lot crumble after. I heard you say it yesterday. Second time they've played twice a week this season.
Second time.
Yeah.
Newcastle
had slapped us. Yeah. Then they went to PSG with the same fucking team, made no substitutions, and should have won and got robbed. And then they played Manchester United and outrun them on the weekend and absolutely obliterated them with the same team again. With no bench.
Watch them win tonight. Watch Newcastle win tonight as well.
With all their injuries.
And I'm meant to feel sorry for us.
And Miley Cyrus on for 3 games.
Liverpool have played 10 men, probably played with 10 men, probably more times than they played with 11 this season.
Yeah.
And you're trying to talk to me about 10 men.
Only our fan base is made to believe, these players need some rotation. They're so tired. This BS. All the other teams I see, how honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Mo Salah take a break. Have you guys ever seen Mo Salah take a break? But I've seen this guy start every game.
Our brother's not normal.
Yeah.
Who's our Mo Salah? Who's our Mo Salah that plays every game?
Let's look at ourselves. 14-15, when JT played every minute of the whole season.
Premier League season.
At his age. Played the whole every minute from minute 1 till minute whatever on day 38.
Including the extra minutes.
And we've got a bunch of young lads, 20, 21, 22, tired. Get out of it, man. Get out, bro. When I'm seeing, like yesterday, for example, like when I see a Mudryk, for example, ball is literally being taken away from him and he's jogging. This guy's in the gym like 25 hours a day. Guess what? There isn't 25 hours in a day, but for Mudryk in the gym, there is, because it seems like that's how much he's in there. No, not fit enough. Doesn't want to track back. Not just that, though, because it's not just a player issue here. There's an entire... The level of the team is in the bin.
Bro, I'm sorry.
It's in the bin.
Bro, Pochettino, you can't have this team not pressing when pressing is your philosophy.
Embarrassing.
Can't defend. It can't defend in open play, can't defend on dead ball situations, can't keep the ball, can't build up from the back. You have to do something. And I always say to people, your opinion is always valid around here. If you want him sacked, bruv, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm done arguing.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not asking for sack.
Bruv, like I said earlier, you run out of credit with me, bro. You're on no minutes right now. We're roaming, and I'm telling you, bro, we're roaming, and it's really dangerous out here, bro. The charge could add up quick.
Let me give you guys a quick example. Man United, in their supposed bad season this season, 3 points behind City. 3 points behind City.
I don't know how is that possible. How is that possible, bro?
But this is the thing, Matisse. Bad season does not mean you're 10th. Bad season means you're still in and around the situation.
Yeah.
Man United in their worst season, apparently, is still 3 points behind City, and what? 9 points behind Arsenal.
They are level on points with Spurs. Although Spurs have played a game less, but if Spurs lose somehow today, they will be level on points.
Less.
They'll be level on points. And the narrative, Spurs having the best and the most exciting manager, and Ten Hag doesn't know how to manage a football club.
But
And
bro,
they both will have the same.
How many points are we behind Man United? How many points are we behind Man United?
Too
I
many
think 12,
points.
7 or 8, something like
12.
that.
That
8 points. 8 points. Sorry, 8 points.
8 points, and they are apparently bad. 8 points, they are bad.
It's not apparently, bro. Right? We've watched it.
8.
Wow.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter.
So this is when I'm like, you know what, Pochettino, like, I'm not asking for this guy to be sacked today or tomorrow or anything like that. But come December, end of December, if we are still 10th or 11th or whatever, brother,
We are in December, brother.
Like end of December,
You mean
and none of this. Oh, Nkunku comes in and we're not gonna lose ever again. Nkunku comes in, we're winning the World Cup.
Yeah, this
Don't tell
I
me
don't know if
that
there's been
rubbish. Do not
I don't
tell
know
me
if,
that
I don't know if
rubbish.
there's been any I don't know if there's been any briefings this morning about Osherman or Nkuku, Copium
It
or
has
whatever.
to be. Which
but
13-year-old are we
not
We'll
buying
get the
today?
PR. We'll get the
Which
PR.
13-year-old are we buying today? Which 12-year-old we linked with today? We have to be.
Yeah.
Find me one.
You know what? With the whole Poch thing now, yeah, because this is a different situation compared to past. Past, we would have players that we know with, you know, if they dip and we're in a bad position, we can get rid of the manager, get someone else in, and boom, there's a bounce. The players are good enough there. Cool. We can roll with that. We're in a situation now where we have been set up to completely fail. Pochettino, as far as I'm concerned, right, after yesterday, I've lost faith. But I can't even now say, oh yeah, sack him. Because if we sack him, still, we get someone else in on an interim or whoever comes in, we're going to get the same results. It's not going to change. The problem is, I think all the way up until the end of the season, at the end of the season, we can look to make something drastic. But in terms of right now, Pochettino, you get rid of him. What we've put in place, even though Poch, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, what he said yesterday was a sackable offense. So coming out and thinking that was the players giving everything, and you are happy with the second half, tells me that you don't belong here. But we can't sack him and not have an actual plan. Unlike before, we've got players and a squad that are just not built to go any further than what they are now. We will be finishing mid-table. It's clear, it's evident. And that problem has come from the top. That problem has come from upstairs. This is where it's all stemmed from. I'm looking upstairs because Poch can do what he can do, and I think he's been set up to fail to an extent. But even he can only do what he can do. We knew that he wasn't elite, but we thought he would bring us up to a respectable position because of last season, right? Yeah. We thought, okay, he'd elevate at least a little bit, and then we can have other conversations when the time comes. We're still in the mud. We're more in the mud. So Poch, definitely not elite. Again, that's come from upstairs. The whole strategy's got to change at this football club. The whole model needs to shift.
That's the thing. We knew, like you said, even me, when I wanted him to come in, I said, this guy might not win us, probably won't win us titles and Champions Leagues, but he'll get us into the Champions League because he can at least do that. Definitely can get to that level. But some of the fact that the whole team is playing so poorly and the fact that the team looks so disorganized on and off the ball, he has to take massive responsibility for that. Because as a coach, I expect a hell of a lot better. I expect a hell of a lot better from him. For the fact that we can't do any build-up.
We shouldn't hide away from this. We should not hide away from this.
For the fact that we're shocking on set pieces consistently. Why is that? For the
that's
fact
not
that
on the owners.
We're shocking in terms of the way that we go forward and with the way that we attack.
Yeah.
Why? Like, you have to take some responsibility. 100%.
You have to.
Because for me, we even with what the owners have done, we should not be in this position. I don't feel. However, when I'm talking about who's top to blame, and I said this a couple of weeks ago when we lost to Newcastle, who is the first person to go to, or the first group to go to blame? It's the ones that have consistently been here for the entirety of the mid-table mayhem. They were mid-table with us last season. They're mid-table with us this season. They put this team together. It's the ownership, because you guys have fucking focused on this 18, 17, 16-year-old nonsense and spent how much of the billion on said things, and now you've jeopardized the first team quality not being where it is. And it's not even just the quality, because the forward line of Sterling, Mudryk, and Jackson could honestly one day play for Bournemouth and one day play for someone actually decent. But you continue to keep focusing on 2030 and 2029 and 2028 and 2027 when 2023 is so fucked and 2024 is so uncertain. How do you do that?
That's a guarantee.
You are building it backwards. And I've said this before with the stockpiling. How many fucking times, even when we was linked to that Brazilian kid last week, how many more youngsters do you want to fucking bring in the same position in midfield? How many more? You haven't even got the multi-club model fully fleshed out yet, and you're still trying to bring in more players to go into something that doesn't exist. You can't even loan out Andre Santos to someone competent because you don't have enough fucking clubs. How many more players are you going to do this with? The balance of the team, the composition of the team is fundamentally wrong. You can see it when you're watching them. There is a lack of certain intangibles that are missing to manage games and to get through games. I'm not just talking about age, because you can get shit players that are 31, no problem. But I'm just talking about experience at the highest level, which young players can have. These players have all been playing for 1 year, and there's so many of them to develop and coach at the same time. It's virtually impossible. When you give a manager like Pochettino, who's meant to be good at developing players, you give him 1, 3, 4, couple players, not fucking the whole 11. My voice is actually fucked from yesterday, but it's just too much. It's too much.
Let me tell you guys something, right? Look, Younes is absolutely right when he said the issues from the top. There's no doubts about that. There is absolutely no doubts about that. But you know what? You can't get rid of them. They're here. They are here. All right? So what we can focus is what Matisse just said. Even with this team, even with what you have, the fundamentals, for God's sakes, have a look at Aston Villa. Have a look at Brighton under De Zerbi. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got a lot of young kids over there as well. How's De Zerbi motivating young kids to perform seamlessly under that structure? Now, a lot of you guys said, but that was embedded by Graham Potter. No problems. But De Zerbi had to come in and carry that on. He could have easily lost the dressing room. New manager, but he's coming, he's motivated. What I want to see from Pochettino, look, all you guys have said this. Pochettino has been disadvantaged, no doubts about that. But Pochettino knew very well what he was walking into. Do not give me any bullshit that he didn't know what he was getting into. You knew very well. So what I expect from Pochettino is the fundamentals. Make us competitive, brother. Make us competitive. We don't even compete.
But this is the thing. He knew what he was walking into is absolutely spot on, right? Which brings back to the point of what is it that the owners were looking to hire in the first place? Because I think with Poch, it doesn't seem like that he is. We were hoping that he was going to be different than Graham Potter, and I think he is to an extent. But he still goes under that bracket of, we're gonna go along with it and I'm getting paid and okay, cool, like people want to say a yes man, whatever, right? I still think there is an element of that in Pochettino. His level is his level. You mentioned Brighton, right? And how they can get young players playing. They can. The expectation and the pressure is different for Brighton, though, because Brighton are at a level where right now they're 8th in the Premier League. They are always in and around that bracket, and it's deemed normal, and they won't get higher than that. But that's the reason. Because if Brighton turned it around tomorrow and they had funds, which, well, they got 115 million on Caicedo, but they don't invest that to go and get a world-class player. They try to get 2 or 3 other young talents that they know they can bring through and then eventually, turn into decent players. But that is a model that is going to forever keep Brighton in 8th.
But you know what I'm trying to say?
For them, that's cool. For them,
but you know what I'm trying to say? Brighton's competitive. Brighton's competitive, bro. Brighton don't play like Chelsea.
But the thing with us is we've got all the tools and resources available to us. We've spent $1 billion and we are where we are. Whereas with those tools and resources, if we wanted to, immediately we can find ourselves competing with the best. Immediately build a spine, get some top talent and some top players in that have pedigree as your spine, get some decent players around them, and then bring in your young players that can feed off them like we had before, like other football clubs have, where you have 18 and 19-year-olds looking at the 29s and the 30s who have done it, and this is the level I've got to play at if I wanna be at this club. We've not got that. We've got a bunch of youngsters looking at each other like headless chickens, and we spent $1 billion on it. It's wrong. The whole thing's a shambles.
Have a look at Ange Postecoglou for Spurs. Brother came out of nowhere, and he's coming and he's motivating. He's getting the players to play for him. They are fighting for him. They look competitive every time. For God's sakes, even against us when they were 2-man down, they almost equalized. They almost went in front. Where's the bravery for our team, bro? Where's our bravery? Where's look, there isn't. Do you know, I don't know about you guys. At least 10 to 15 minutes before Man United scored, in my entire watch along, I was saying, I can sense a goal coming from Man United.
Oh, bro.
I can sense it. I can feel it. It's a matter of time. We are bringing them back into the game. We are looking like cowards. We don't seem like we belong there. A goal for Man United is coming. And Lord and behold, the goal came, and I was like, have I not been vindicated?
I'd already emotionally tapped out of that game before they scored the second goal. I said that a draw is of no use to us because we're 10th, so I don't give a shit about a draw. We don't deserve to be level because we're playing like shit, and they had their highest ever XG recorded in 45 minutes. They are smacking in shots from all angles. They could have been
28 shots apparently. 28 shots.
Yeah, could have been 4-5-0 up. Sanchez actually saved us so many times, even though on the ball he was poor. And I was just so pissed off with the performance, regardless of what the scoreline was at 1-1. I said at this point, just hurry up and get it over with because we're going to lose. And I said it in my review. I'm disappointed we didn't get battered. We actually deserve to be battered because maybe alarm bells would have gone off in the player's head, in the manager's head, in the board's head. But you know
we need
what?
like a 6-0 loss. We need a 7-0, 8-0. We need a pamming. We do.
These are my two concerns, right? Big concerns right now. One, I don't know half the level of some of these players because they've only just arrived. I didn't know who the hell they were before they arrived. So the only players that I am almost certain of that are now really performing well below their level are like Caicedo's and Enzo's, who are just like, I'm sorry, what you put out there was just, you're not that bad. You're really not. So I don't know what's going on there, but that needs to get fixed because that was a car crash of a midfield pairing. They're not world class, right? Fair. You might not be world class and you might not be, but you're not like that. So that is just unacceptable. But the Mudryks, I don't know you, bro. So I've said it before. People say, oh, we loved all the signings. I don't know half of these signings. So I'm just trusting the recruitment team. I'm trusting them with Mudryk. I'm trusting them with Madueke. I'm trusting them with all of these young players they're bringing in. I'm trusting them with Disasi. I'm trusting. But at some point, when the end of the season really comes to an end, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the manager that's not getting the best out of them, or if it's the players that are not good enough and they're not of the level because the board have fucked up. We're gonna find out one way or another. But
a lot of has to be pinned down on the manager, bro. Because if you see the moment we are behind in a game or the moment we come under pressure, the panic starts to set in. We start giving the ball away. I don't know how many times we misplaced the ball yesterday. If anyone has a stat, please let us know how many misplaced passes we did. The defensive line, every one of those defenders yesterday were giving away ball for fun. Apart from Thiago Silva, and that brings me to that experience point also, that why we need experienced players. Apart from Thiago Silva, everyone was absolutely pathetic on the ball.
And Baba, even Thiago Silva is not a compliment. He was rubbish too. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? His rubbish standard is our standard. And then everyone was even more rubbish.
And and as a manager, how can you let your team perform exactly the same way in 2 consecutive away matches? It was a copy-paste of Newcastle match. Last night.
I think it was worse.
It was,
that was worse.
The template was the same.
We found a new level. We found a new level of worse. Other teams are there finding new levels of how to get their performances better. We find new levels to get deeper and deeper into the mud. Just when you think, there's no way, there's no other level below this. We've hit the rock bottom.
I'm saying
bonus
the
level.
template was the same. Newcastle were dominating us. We scored a goal against the run of play, and second half we got battered. Exactly the same last night. United dominated us, scored a goal against the run of play, got battered in the second half. So how can a manager let this happen on 2 consecutive occasions? And I think there is a severe lack of trust amongst the players. They don't trust each other. Either it's a quality issue, I don't know what just Matisse has mentioned. These players are too afraid to fail because the amount of players that we have in the squad, and with Lavia and Nkunku also coming into the mix, I don't know even if Nkunku is a real entity or he's just a figment of our imagination. I don't know if that guy exists or not, because
Bro,
I think
journalists out there, you I'm never falling for this Nkunku. He's almost ready. He's almost
I think
ready.
he's an
He was
AI
meant to be playing
generated
against
being.
Newcastle.
Yeah, he's an AI generated being, I think, and we are meant to believe that he will magically come and he will be a messiah or whatnot, and he'll just have that magic wand and everything will, magically will get sorted. So I don't know what's going to happen, but that comes down to the manager. He has to give some kind of confidence to these players. He has to lay down some sort of a roadmap. Okay, Badiashile, you were brilliant against Brighton. This is the reason why I'm not picking you against Man United. But rest assured, you are in my plans. You will be a big player for us. And the next thing we know, we are linked to Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen as a Thiago Silva replacement. So I don't know what's going on with the recruitment. The
Even the
communication
medicals,
is not clear.
They're a joke.
Even the medical, every part of the club is fucked.
They're joke.
Carney was meant to be out for a couple of weeks. Where the fuck is he?
Well, he's gone for like 3 months now.
Where is he, bro?
He's been
Trevor
gone for 3 months.
And what was it? What was up with the sacking Pat Nevin or him not being a part of the media duties anymore? Like
I think he said something up against the recruitment and the way that we've gone about our business. So
Look,
they were always going to sack him for that. But even
apparently he made those comments post. He'd already left. We genuinely don't know what the reason was, but all we know is that he wasn't told as to he wasn't given any notice. He was just told immediately, "You're gone." Bye.
Well,
That's
boys.
Nevin.
You know what? The other thing that I don't understand. So we all know that there's disciplinary issues. Everyone's picking up yellow cards for fun. More yellow cards than goals, and we're just loving life, right? But what's Poch doing now with this another punishment? Let's face it, Reece James was not injured. He was pathetic, but he wasn't injured. I don't understand this. What were you trying to prove, Pochettino? He comes out before the match, goes, "Oh, we have to look after the players. He needs the confidence." What's going on in this club? What happened? What happened? Why didn't he start? Why did he not start? Because he's definitely not injured. If he was injured, then you don't have him in the squad. It's one or the other. And he didn't even say he was injured.
Bro, he was too afraid to say it straightforward that I did not like what Reece James did the other day. So as a punishment, I'm dropping him for this game.
But then why play him in the second half?
He got
because Kukurea was shit.
So is he going to?
So is he going to do that for Gallagher?
I don't know.
People are telling me Gallagher's our best midfielder.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
People are telling me Gallagher's our best midfielder. I'm sorry, but that is an indictment that we are going to.
Bro, if Gallagher's our best midfielder,
well, that is an indictment. That is an indictment that we're going to finish mid-table. It's nothing against Gallagher.
100%.
Yeah, nothing against Gallagher.
Gallagher is our best midfielder. He's been our best player this season, and he's a better captain than Reece James.
Yeah, but then we are going to finish 10th then, because that's when he was Crystal Palace's best player. That's where they finished.
Yeah,
so
that's why our best friends are Brentford,
that's where we
Fulham, Wolves. These are our best friends now.
If our 100 million pound investments are not better this season than Gallagher, then we will finish mid-table.
Yeah, so we're finished. We're finished. This is what I said. We're finished.
There's no accountability, right, in this whole club right now, because we've got player issues like we've just mentioned in terms of Reece James and those sort of decisions. We've got no accountability being held on to the players. A lot of these players know that they're on 7-8 year contracts. They're chilling. They know whatever happens, brother, they're getting paid for the next 8 years. Chilling. Not a problem, right? So that's one mistake in and of itself. People want to call it the death row contract. I completely agree now. Those death row contracts were a shocking decision to make. Maybe financially is a better investment, and it works for them financially, but then that's where you got to question the incentives. With Pochettino, accountability being held. We heard him after the game. That was absolutely shocking what he said. How are the players going to react for something like that? They're just going to think everything's okay. Obviously, there's that. And then they get paid their money on their death row contracts. On top of that, the recruitment clearly have no idea what they're doing. But we got to be real here. We look, hindsight is 2020. Yeah, these players that we've all got in, which we now know are not up to the level. We now understand that they were brought in by a recruitment team that have not operated at the highest level. Let's be honest. Let's call it a spade. Yeah, we got one sporting director that's come from Brighton. Yeah, and the other one has come from the Red Bull clubs. And was at Monaco briefly, right? But unlike past, where we actually look at some pedigree that knows exactly how to operate at the highest level, these guys don't. So they're going to rely on these sort of players that they think are going to turn into gems, but realistically, no. If this was Brighton, yeah, it'd be acceptable. This is Chelsea. It's not acceptable, and we're now mid-table. This is why when you said we're going to finish 10th or what, yeah, we're going to finish 12th. We're going to finish bottom half again. Like this. We will finish bottom half. It's the writings on the wall because there's nothing else that we can possibly do to change the situation with what we have or what we've put in front of us, even though we've got the resources to have done it differently, but we haven't. This is what we're doing. So we're going to finish mid-table.
And then panic's going to set in and they're going to try and flip the whole squad again in record time to try and fix it. And that is probably further going to damage it. Can you imagine?
If they don't change the model, if they don't change the approach, because if they change the approach and these guys at the top actually wake up, then perhaps. But if they think that they can just recycle another bunch of young lads, we're screwed.
But bro, we're gonna miss out on Champions League, right? So when is it going to come a point where we're not going to be able to attract top players for two reasons? One, because our asses are being investigated and we're going to get into FFP problems. And two, because we're not at the highest level anymore and we've been consecutively fucking mid-table for the last 2 seasons. When are we going to get to a point where we can't get the players that you are talking about that we need to potentially get to the next level? This is why this manager has to extract more from this lot. He has to.
This is what I'm saying.
It's not optional. We have already, like you said in your review, it's too late, bro. It's too late. Dude, what club is going to come and pick up Mudryk? I already said that brother's overpriced. He was no more valuation than Madueke. He should never have cost more than that guy. Never. He was a £35 million player. We paid double because we wanted to get into a jizz fest with Arsenal to try and show who's the bigger, who's the stronger. Well, how many times have we got into those battles and now we're losing on the pitch? We're winning in the transfer market, losing on the pitch. But Mudryk in particular, I didn't know this brother before he arrived. I have not seen anything at this current moment to suggest that he is worth the valuation that we paid. We could have slapped on an extra 30 for a Liao or some shit, someone that everybody was aware of, but we said we're scouting. Bro, if this was Werner, I'm telling you, it would be a different conversation. It really would. A lot of these guys are getting away with it because they're new and they're young. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to take our time. But at some point, I need to see some serious quality. Otherwise, we're not going to make it out of this mess.
Lads, I don't know about you guys. Do you know how far 40 points is? Do you know how fucking far 40 points is? I don't know how we're going to get... We're on 19 after 15 matches.
We're on 19, yeah.
40 points is a long way out.
Bro, we're going to hit the
40 points. I'm looking like this.
Just like we did last season, man.
That is a long way out, you know. And you know what's going to be the most scary part? If Everton, even after their 10 points deduction, somewhere along the way, overtakes us. That will be the biggest slap in our face.
Yeah, I'm sorry Sterling's embarrassing dive when he's one yellow card from suspension was mentioned as well.
You know what's mad? Because we're talking about trying to utilize what we got, right? Respectfully, we've now figured out that we're only going to hit a certain level with a lot of these lads, right? It's as simple as that. That's just what it seems like they're capable of. The way to actually change it, because the model that we've adopted has never worked before. And we went down an approach of experimental madness, thinking, okay, maybe we'll give it a go. Let's see what happens. Clearly, now we know it's in the bin. If there's going to be two things that we do that the club needs to reverse in order to get something going, is to be able to go back on the wage structure. if you're going to try and attract some decent players, you're going to have to pay decent money. That's just the way, that's just the name of the game. Yeah. If you're going to try, because as you said correctly, we're not going to make Champions League football. So we're going to need even more incentive to try and bring in players that we know can form a decent spine, right? Because that's the bare minimum and skeleton that we miss so far, that we need. So there's that. And on top of that, when the time comes, because at this point, Poch isn't going to survive for the shortest time, let alone probably the end of the season. But when the time comes,
Younes, what I think about Poch's survival is I've started to notice a pattern. Why managers come out like Potter did, and Lampard had nothing to lose, so he was pretty much saying it on the face value. And same thing as happening with Pochettino, because they cannot say this out loud that the players that you've given me are shit. The squad that I'm working with is absolutely not world class, so they have to say what owners want them to say. And
Jurgen, it's reverse psychology. Jurgen, he's saying that this is the best that the lot you gave me, this is the best. The lads gave their everything. This is everything that they can give.
Maybe
that's
that
what you gave me.
Maybe that, or it's just that he does not want to upset the owners. And what we had read when Potter got sacked was that it was very difficult for owners to sack Potter because he was a very good person to work with. He was a very good professional that the owners liked, and they had a synergy with him. All of them were on the same page. So I think that has what gone down with Pochettino as well before the season, the way they have spoken to him, and they have given him this season, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want means finish 13th or 14th in the table. I don't know if the bar has been set or not that way. But yeah, this is again a write-off season, like the last season. So please don't criticize us and just work with these players and see where you can get till the end of the season. And that's why
he's going to accept that.
And accept that. So this is what is happening.
And he's going to accept that. But this is what we're saying. Like he knew what he was coming into in that case. And realistically, from the get-go, even though hindsight is 2020, we knew what manager we were getting. Let's be real. He's not someone that's going to be. We were demanding for a little while at the beginning of the season that we want to see, more from Potts. When it started to turn and he started talking about a process, we were like, yo, hang on. You weren't saying that at the beginning. What's going on? Well, now we kind of know, he's maybe just not got it in terms of actually being in full control of his emotions or what he genuinely wants or has to say. He's just going to go along with it. That's the sort of manager that has been employed because that's what they're looking for upstairs.
And hence the same reason we will never have a manager unless the ownership changes their vision. A manager like Mourinho. Yeah, Mourinho, Tuchel, these Conte, these big personalities won't be our managers from now.
We need someone elite. We need someone elite.
This is
absolutely need it, man.
But who's what I said to you guys last week?
Which managers?
Yes man. Which yes man has won a Premier League now? People will say Klopp. But get out of here, bro.
Which manager is elite though out there that do you know what I'm saying? That we can obtain. This is my thing with this board, and this is why the board are top priority to blame because they're the ones that structured this team. They're the ones that have been consistently here from last season when we were 10th and we were like, how can you have us in this position? We're better than this, and then we go and do it again, right? The recruitment team have to take responsibility as well. I said it not last week. I think I said it the week before. This recruitment team have to take massive responsibility because we know a lot of the time they brought in players that when Pochettino wanted more experienced players, he said we need Premier League experience. They were looking at players that haven't even accumulated 40 Premier League games. So the recruitment team have to take responsibility and the board have to take responsibility the most because they're the ones that have consistently been here throughout this period. Jose Mourinho, whether people like it or not, is not an elite manager anymore. So if you're talking about elite managers, you're talking about a very small group that we are not getting. So this is the problem now.
We aren't an elite club, bro. We aren't an elite club anymore.
Only by name, but not in by action, bro. But in terms of Pochettino, this is why I was trying, and I'm still with him. But my lord, you're really starting to piss me off. He was like the best yes man out there in terms of like experience with managing top players and experience developing players. And I'm not saying he's going to win the Premier League because he's not. But I thought at least as a yes man, he's going to get us here. And then hopefully by then the board have snapped out of this and they're going to bring in. But bro, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. This group, and you said it, Younes, on your review, this group, if a new manager comes in, they're still the same people. Mudryk still has the same loose first touch. It's not going to change overnight. So you have to develop them. You've brought in so many players that need to be developed. This is not normal. This is not the same as when we had literal experienced top players that were just down tooling, and you knew if you brought in a top manager with fresh ideas, fresh motivation, and fresh tactics, they would snap out of it and perform again. These players are not going to snap out of it. This is them. The he's are him, bruv. These are these players. So what are you to do?
But the ownership has so much say in, ownership has so much say in these players being a part of this football club. I was reading the other day, the ownership still considers Madueke as one of the highest talents, as the highest potential talents when it comes to data and all of that. He has hardly got a look in this season. So what happens when a manager does not?
He's injured.
Yeah.
Again.
And what the hell is going on in the training that these players get injured without even playing a single minute of football, man?
You guys know that. You know that, right?
Are they making a new stadium themselves? Are they doing the construction work of the new stadium themselves somewhere?
But I reckon these guys, they wake up in the morning, like literally from the bed, injured. This is what it is now. Do you know what I mean? Any little movement,
it makes you wonder what the hell is going on in training. How the hell do we move? How do we prepare? What do we do? Because we break down on every level. It's insane. It's insane. But this is the thing. Like, look, Matisse, you made a point about having to look. These players that are here are ones that need to develop, absolutely. But they are not going to develop with how we're doing things now. They're not going to. They're going to stay exactly as they are. Next season, season after, they will be 27, 28-year-old Theo Walcotts. This is Theo Walcott hit a level. Hit a level. All of them are just going to stagnate and just do nothing. We can't do that. We can't do that. No, I'm sorry. The young players, it doesn't mean get rid of them. No, we need to bring in a spine that they can be based around. If not, we ain't going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We will stay mid-table and we will remain there when we have the tools. This is what I'm saying. When people want to talk about process, right? Clubs that have to manage with what they got. They have to work with what they have, right? We've got everything in our power to be able to shift everything if we truly wanted to. But the model doesn't dictate that. It needs to shift. If not, we will continue like this and we will just stay intent. And we will probably end up going in the same direction as Leeds went and Forest went and all of these teams in the past, that Blackburn, who won the Premier League at one point. We will go in that direction if we're not careful. We need to shift it because we have the tools to be able to change everything if we want to, and then start showing these young players exactly how they need to be based around certain experience and certain players that they can learn and feed from, and then grow and develop. And then in 5 years' time, we can be talking about Mudryk or maybe Eden Hazard's level or something, even though that's probably not going to happen if I'm honest. But you get the gist.
No,
we're just going to be turning in circles.
I fully understand where you're coming from, and this is where I feel sorry for the people that are like me that are trying to find finally some stability and some longevity, and you're trying to do that by being patient and being not a typical Chelsea fan who just wants to just move mad constantly but at the same time we have to also think about what you just said, which is if we just continue to be like this. And this is why I always said everybody's got their different breaking points, right? And I don't know if hopefully we're not going to get there, but we never know. We can't just keep getting shitter and be like, oh, well, they're young and they're going to develop and they're going to be this. Because I said it already. And this is why I'm so against bringing in this many young players. Even when they develop, you don't know what level they're going to develop to. And even when they develop, guess what? The other teams are still going to play ball. And all they're going to do is replace their top players with top players. So your players better develop into top players. Otherwise, if they don't, you won't be at the top. It's as simple as that. They are going to be there. They are going to be there no matter what. We were coming into the season, we were worrying about Newcastle taking our chain. Now it's Aston Villa that are taking our chain. Aston Villa are third. Aston Villa are above Manchester City. How many more teams?
Aston Villa, forget about third. Do you know Aston Villa, since Unai Emery took over, if you look at the points tally, Aston Villa actually second or something like that. Since Unai Emery took over,
I know that.
They're second.
Bro, they've won 14 home games in a row.
What project are they doing there? Tell me what project they're doing there.
They're moving like prime Jose Mourinho, brother. They're moving like the old Chelsea.
Honestly, someone in the live chat sit down with me and tell me What project is that and what project is us? Tell me, please. That team, when Steven Gerrard got sacked, was 16th. You can't even tell me that, oh, they've got a lot of experienced players. They've got a lot of world-class international players over there. Now they do slowly. The way they're playing now, they will. A lot of them will play international football.
Well, even this is the thing. Even Villa technically are kind of limited in terms of what they can do. When you look at funds and resource and what they have at their disposal,
and Newcastle,
mate, they're limited, right? Yeah. Newcastle have had owners that have come in. They know there is big money, but they're even then they're wise. They're not just splashing out the window. They're doing things correctly, right? They're spending right.
FFP. They're limited because of FFP.
They're spending correctly.
Yeah,
we've got no excuse.
And bro, Aston Villa did not approve the club and just laid down the entire foundation once again. Like they were firing their marketing guys, they're firing their medical team, they're firing the people from cafeteria. We've done all of that. Like it was not just a managerial change or an ownership change. Like we have changed even everything. We have changed even I don't know even if we have changed the janitor as well or the people working in the mega store.
Sure. Yeah, if the canteen staff and the groundsman got it, then the janitors definitely got it too, surely.
So all of that has happened, which has...
We're just a mid-table club with a Chelsea logo on it. That's it. Like, that's what has happened. Like, these new owners have come in, decimated the entire place, and now we have been mid-table for 2 years just with the Chelsea logo in front of it. Like, if you took the Chelsea logo away, you wouldn't be able to tell whether we are Crystal Palace, whether we are Brentford, whether we are Fulham, whether we are Wolves. You wouldn't be able to tell if you take the logo out. If you literally got a fresh person in and blindfolded them, and then, whilst they're blindfolded, you took the logo out, then, took their blindfold out, they wouldn't be able to tell what team this is. And then you put the Chelsea, oh, okay, you guys are Chelsea. I thought you guys were probably Fulham or Crystal Palace. That's how you're moving.
Yeah.
It's just the logo. We're just about the logo now. But the logo is also losing value very, very soon.
I'm gonna have to start a new London Clubs Carnage. It's gonna be Palace, Brentford, and Fulham and Chelsea.
Bro, even those teams play with a style consistently.
And even then, they get beat. We're not number one. We're not number one on that one.
Yeah, we are not number one. Yeah.
You know what's mad? You look at the approach here. When you compare the two transitional times at the club, there's this one, and then there's when Roman first took over, right? And bearing in mind, we were, some would say, average, but we were competing at least, 6th, 5th. That was our norm. Yeah? Come in immediately. All right, sporting director, Manchester United, Peter Kenyon, snip him away from Sir Alex Ferguson. That was setting the level already. Before anything else, that was setting the bar.
Roman wasn't going for Blackburn or anything like that. He wasn't looking for those type. He was looking for winners.
Boom. Peter Kenyon, thank you. All right, who are we going for in terms of manager? Ranieri's not going to do it. Okay. This guy's just young on the block, won the Champions League, won the UEFA Cup before then. Okay, bring him in. Jose's in. Boom. And then brings in all these killers as players.
Yeah.
And we have a spine for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? Now, the problem that we had in the past was that, maybe we were being a bit too ruthless with management, right? Maybe when you sack Ancelotti in the tunnel, that's a bit mad. Yeah. But
after coming second as well.
That was mad.
That's mad. That's outrageous. That was the only thing. If you have the same model, right? And some would argue, to be honest, the model worked. But if you have that same model, but you're a little bit more patient with top managers that you do bring in, right? Say, for example, in our instance where we had Thomas Tuchel, and you he's proven himself. Let it keep going.
Yes.
Give him what he needs and just keep it going. We will be fine. Then keep the same model. We've gutted everything. And remember when it happened and everyone got fired, everyone got chopped, we were here thinking, isn't that a bit crazy? That's a bit mad to just change, like in an organization, you just shift everything and just bring everyone that's new and just hope it's going to click. Like, that's a bit outrageous. That's what we've gone and done.
Pat Nevin's getting sacked as well. He don't even know what he got sacked.
We're still doing it. We're just doing it now at the mid-table level. We're still sacking. We've had record amount of sackings in the last 18 months since they've arrived. I still maintain that I didn't think that we should carry on doing things in that manner because it hasn't brought sustained success. We should have more Premier League titles than we do. We've actually should have more Champions League titles than we do in terms of the Barcelona disgrace game and the Luis Garcia goal and the Moscow final. So to build sustainable success, we had to make some tweaks, some changes. However, I don't want to go this way. This is a different route.
Because like this, we're not even in a conversation.
I feel like we were naturally going to fall out of that top 4 and we were going to be dwindling in 5th, 6th if we kept behaving the way we're behaving. Because if you remember, and this is why I always say not to go back to the back end of the Roman era and hype it up too much, because we were on the cusp of missing out on top 4 repeatedly, time and time again. We had lost 5 Wembley finals in a row, so we were moving in a slowly southward trajectory. And that thank God Tuchel got us that Champions League to keep us kind of in that elite level status. Because you take that away, that knockout competition, and there's nothing else to show for that period in terms of the last 4 or 5 years since Conte's left. However, this is just another level of bullshit. This is like, at least we were in conversations back in the back end. At least we were like just there, you know.
And it was a matter of adjustments. It was a matter of maybe one wrong decision has been made, 2 wrong decisions have been made. Okay, tweak this, tweak that. Now we're talking about everything needs to be shifted. It's mental.
I'm gonna go through these super chats. Big up everybody in the chat. There's over 3,000 of you in here. Thankfully, DR's been delayed by half an hour, so I have a bit more time to prepare my. I don't even know what I'm going to do when I go over there.
Honestly, I feel bad for you, Matisse, bro. Everyone's going to have a mad laugh at you, bro. That's not fair.
You're dressed for the funeral.
Chelsea
nice.
as
the glasses
do you know what?
Fucking my man Matisse, bro. Fucking hell.
I put my neck out on the line for this match because I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna live or die by the sword on this game because I know Man United are not a great team, and I still maintain that. But now it doesn't matter how bad or good they are because we're just worse. And that's just how it is. I believed in my team too much. What can you do? As a neutral, it looked like Chelsea were complacent. They went into the match thinking Man United is in disarray. Ten Hag switched it on them, dropped the bottlers, and started only players with passion. Do you know what? Facts. He dropped Rashford. You know, he dropped Rashford. A lot of people were asking for that, and their whole front 4, they pressed us into oblivion. Oh my days. They constructed, and I said it at the start of the game. That's the one thing I was like, I actually hope Rashford starts because if he's walking the way these men are saying he's walking, then we might actually get some joy down that side. But he played Garnacho, Anthony, and Anthony's not great, but he was going to work hard. He's a dog. He does work. And then you got Højlund and Bruno. I said, wow, this is going to be a press. They will press us today. It looks like it's going to be a press. I was hoping they'd sit back, but when I saw Rashford not in the team, I said, shit. They will press, but I still thought we'd do better than that. I expected bare minimum we are going to play well. If we don't win because we miss chances or we make individual errors, that's normal. But we're going to play well. 100% we're going to play better than them. When you look at the 2 11s and you look at ours or our supposed good 11 or our supposed 11 of whatever quality it's meant to be, I was like, we're going to play well. We're definitely going to play well. I'm still confident we're going to win this game. And they go and do that. Crazy. The only process I know is the computer. Kind process being a running instance of a program. United having a trivia contest, Maguire doing back heels.
Oh man,
bro. Honestly, Maguire was a boss, you know. We made it easy for him. All the long passes from Enzo Fernandez, Maguire just towered over. Boom! He got rid of everything. I was like, my God, this is a particular defender that's getting laughed around. He was bossing it. He was absolutely bossing it. Embarrassing.
It's 5:20 a.m. on the East Coast, and I'm drunk as fuck. Chelsea, you did this. I ran out of drink in my house, to be fair. I'm kind of pissed. Yesterday, I just had to you know what I was doing yesterday? I was on Twitter. I ran a space, and everybody was piling in, and they thought, we're going to have a big conversation about this. We're going to have a big talk. No, we're not. We're not talking.
I heard you played music. Or...
Yeah, I just played all of Adele's best songs. Back to back. And then when I ran out of Adele songs, I moved on to just the saddest playlist known to man. Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake. Everything. The whole 9 yards. Payphone, Maroon 5, all of it. I just played them back to back. And I said, we don't need to talk. There's nothing to talk about. People are requesting. We don't need to talk. There's no conversation to take place here. Just sit down, listen to the music. I said, if you have a smoking addiction, I don't encourage it, but go get a cig. If you got a drinking addiction, I don't encourage it. Go and get a drink. Do whatever you need to do. If you bun in a zoo, whatever you're doing, but just sit down and just listen to the music. Today is it's Chelsea FM, not Capital FM. It's Chelsea FM. Just listen to the music and just relax and just take a moment, open a window, breathe, because we're not talking about this. And that's it. And I ran tunes for about 2 hours and I left. And I didn't say a word. That's what this club have done to me, because I didn't have no drink.
So many people tagged me under that. I was at work, and then I saw later on after work, I saw all of these tags under that the space. Everyone was like, the man just had music on all the entire period. There was no conversation. And then people are like, Miss, talk to him. Talk to him. Why isn't he not talking? I go, bro, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
Say what, bro? Say what? And people have been saying a lot, listen, delusional, fake positivity. It's opinions at the end of the day. It's perspective. It depends on how you see it. Some people genuinely, like me, thought this was going to get better purely because I believed in the coach and the development of the players at the bare minimum, purely because I think all the players are not bad. I think there are some quality players in there. I think the forward line is very questionable outside of Palmer and obviously we know what Sterling's about. Madueke, no idea. Mudryk, no idea. Jackson, we pray. We live on a prayer. Broya. I mean, swapping Jackson for Broya was literally just like we're just doing it just to hope. We don't know what we're gonna get here because neither of these players are elite. But when you sign, when you see Badia Shield, how he plays, when you see what you've invested in the midfield, you think surely you're not going to be that bad. Surely you're not going to be that bad. But here we are. We're that bad. But now anybody, and I agree with it. I think Younes said it, or maybe it was Miz. Today, I mean, yesterday was the wake-up call. Like now it's like, I feel like everybody that was kind of like really like hopeful, that just got absolutely taken out of them. Now it's on this team, this board, and this manager to extract any positivity from people now, because that performance was like mind-numbingly bad. It was like, even if you were conflicted, as what was Saeed saying? I'm
self-conflicted.
I'm self-conflicted, right? Even if you were self-conflicted because Man City, because Arsenal, because you thought that, okay, if we just do this, and if you look at the underlying metrics, and we've done this before, and I said it when we looked at the underlying, we've done this before with Potter, the XG, I said, cool, the underlying metrics are going to take us to a certain point, and then I need to see wins, and we were getting into the must wins now. These were must wins these last 3 games. Newcastle, if you want to catch them, must win. Brighton, must win. Man United, must win. These next games, they're obviously must wins. We're kind of moving away from underlying metrics now. I'm trying to see what's above the ground, above the soil. So it's gone past the point of hoping now. It's now like it's now crisis mode. It's now do or die. It's as simple as that. Poch out, SMH, who brought all of the deadwood we have. Yeah, that's why I say the ownership have to take first responsibility. They are definitely on the firing line. But to be honest, Man United has been bad too, but not like this. Fair enough. I'm not even going to mention Man United again. I apologize to their fan base yesterday on Instagram. I'm not mentioning them again. Putting aside the lack of fight and desire, it's evident there's a lack of talent all over the pitch. How much of these players have improved? 0. Damn. When are we apologizing to Minerals? Well, listen. It's sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And like I said, it's not really about what he said that I've fallen out with him. I don't know if he's fallen out with him. I don't really give a shit. But I think you have to not be rude to other people when you're talking to them in terms of delivering your opinion. We can debate. I've said it before on this channel. I've had many debates on this channel. I've disagreed with many people. We disagree on this panel all the time. But it's how you say it. And if you're going to insult people personally and do all these things, I'm never going to apologize to you because you got an opinion correct. I don't give a shit. It's about how you do it. And that for me as a content creator separates people, certain content creators from other content creators. How you deliver it, how you talk to people, how you mention people's name when they're not on your show, that comes into play when we talk about, oh, can this person come on the show? Oh, can this person get an apology? Nothing to do with their opinion. Like I said, you can have any opinion you want on this channel. I don't give a shit. We'll have a debate. It's great. It's fantastic. I've always said it. Debating is better for everybody. Everybody gets new perspective. Everybody gets opinions. Everybody gets a whole heap of great stuff from it. I'm not here to do echo chamber. However, like I said, delivery wrong. So your answer to your question is there is no apology. But you guys can do that if you want. Thank you for the super chat.
Just a detour on that. Very sorry, because it's completely true in terms of delivery and all of that. If we're taking the footballing opinion, not based just on the footballing opinion, right? We can all debate on players because, like, personally, I don't agree with the whole Mount and Havertz thing to an extent. But I thought we would upgrade. However, when it comes to the direction of the club, I give him credit for that because he has been spot on in terms of where we're heading and what's going on. He's on the money.
I think the problem with him is that I think his Mount and Havertz obsession has clouded a lot of the other things he said underneath it, which has been at this current moment really, really well put. But because of that obsession with those two players in particular, which really I don't think they're worth obsessing over, that's kind of tainted a bit of his point, and that's why it probably didn't get across when he was saying it at the time. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, like I said, it's a game of opinions. We are what we are. It doesn't matter what anybody says, bro. We're here, innit? Do you know what I mean? I've said it before. People be like, oh, content creators, if you guys didn't do this, we wouldn't be here. I was like, no, we would. Because you can find content creators that will say what you want them to say. You can find negative ones. You can find positive ones. And to be honest, depending on what the players and the manager and the board do, you are going to be angry with it. If we had played well, you would have then been cussing him, or you would have said, oh, he's too negative. So as a content creator, we are not stupid enough to think we can win. We can't win. You say what you think at the time. What happens in real life happens in real life, and you have to react accordingly. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. We can only hope. We can only say what we think, and we can only give our opinion at the time. We're not fortune tellers. But I damn well know that if we were playing well right now, it would be the other way around. So it is where it is. You just don't know with this thing. This is football, bruv. No one predicted Aston Villa to be third this season, but here they are. Enzo was better under Potter. We battered you last night. We could have easily scored 3 or 4 more goals. United own Chelsea.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I said, I wish we got battered. I genuinely wish we got battered, because if we got battered, I think I would have. I feel like if we got battered, I feel like it would have been deserved. The players would have got what they deserved, and everybody would have got what they deserved. And that's the only thing I wanted from that game. At 55 minutes, I'd already gone with the game and gone with the emotional connection. I didn't care anymore. But yeah, if we're gonna lose, let's
I just want to say a quick word to the Man United fans, and this is not me having a dig at you or anything, but let me say something to you guys. It's not an achievement beating Chelsea. You're acting like you've achieved something. Plenty of teams have beaten us. It's not
for them. It is. I mean, they're in a situation where they lost to Copenhagen, they lost to Galatasaray, they've lost to
Younes. They're moving like they've done something extremely incredible. We're not good. You've seen, and if anything, we should have scored against you guys. So let me just make something clear: we are bad. We are very bad. We are worse than you, but you're not much better. You're not much better.
Honestly, I'm not even asked even telling them, because like we're so bad now. I can't even think about anybody else. Like the days are gone of looking at other people's results. The days are gone of caring about how anybody else is playing. The days are gone. Like we are in serious shit right now. Serious shit, to the point where my mind can't even think of anybody else's issues. It's like our issues are so big now, and we're so muddied in the mid-table situation that we're in. I'm like, my brain can't even compute any extra information about anybody else's team anymore. It's mad. We are absolutely screwed.
15 games in? No, 15 games in. Arsenal are 2 points off having double the points tally of us at this stage in the season.
Yeah, 15, only 15.
So what happens at the end of the season? Are they going to have 4 times the points as us, or what? Like
they will definitely double by the next game, because I can't picture how we're beating Everton. I'm guaranteeing you, it will be it will be another massive meltdown. It will be another massive meltdown, because I cannot picture us beating Everton at Goodison Park when they have copped 10-point deduction. They will fight, and they will bite off your legs, your hands, everything.
And who do we have after Everton?
Sheffield or Newcastle?
Yeah, we're going into that fixture running now.
Maybe Sheffield.
Maybe Sheffield.
Sheffield United, who are going to have Chris Wilder back, just to let you know.
He's
So-
already back. I think.
Do
He's
you remember
already
the last time?
Yeah.
Do you remember? I remember him from last time. Remember when he?
back. Oh,
walked
when he
off,
slapped us.
bro.
He slapped us.
He
He slapped us 3-0. It was
Yeah.
3-0.
Do you remember the
Yeah.
underlapping centre backs? Oh my days,
Oh.
man, he dragged us.
I
bro.
remember
Oh my
how
God.
he slapped us.
At Bramall Lane,
Yeah.
we got
Just in
absolutely
time.
dunked
Just
on.
in
Oh
time.
my God. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. So bad. No briefings yet this morning, no? Mad. Mourinho can bring resilience. We need him back. I don't care what happens. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't sack the manager at this point, and I'm pissed off with the players' commitment, but I don't know their quality because I don't know most of them, some of them. So I can only go so far with them. For me, the board are really in some serious hot water right now. I disagree. They will snap out. Look what happened. Conte did to a Finnish Victor Moses. Yeah, but you can't just look at Victor Moses in isolation. You have to look at what Victor Moses had around him. It's Hazards, it's Costas, it's Fabregas's, it's Kante's, it's Matic, it's Aspilicueta, it's Cahill, it's Courtois. You can't just look at Moses. Moses was a senior player, and he could have played for a mid-table team. But for that season, he was incredible for us. But he didn't have a bunch of nobodies around him. So the landscape of the league has changed as well since Conte's season. Conte's season was Pep's first season, was Klopp's early days, was no Aston Villa, was no Newcastle, the league is more competitive now. Look at the title race. Look at the title race. It's a 3-horse race, minimum. And Villa are trying to get involved. I don't think they will be. I hope they won't be.
I think they're playing Arsenal next week.
Yeah, they are. They're playing Arsenal this weekend.
That's a big one for Arsenal.
Bro,
for Aston Villa.
If Villa win that, what lord? If Villa win that, they go.
But they have to be in the conversation.
They go 1 point behind Arsenal. The reason why I don't want to put them in there because we know title races really get going in February. They really get going in February, March.
Yeah.
But look at the league. I said it already earlier in the season. Top 10 teams are all problems. West
Villa's
Ham have
in Europe
Kudus.
as well, by the way. Villa's in Europe.
Yeah. West Ham have Kudus. They have Paqueta.
Bro,
They have the same players we wanted.
Diaby. They have Moussa Diaby. This is no joke, bro.
Bro, this league is tapped. This league is tapped. I don't think
Moussa
you can understand.
Diaby,
Look at the
Zaniolo.
top 10.
They got Zaniolo, Moussa Diaby, Pau Torres.
The top 10 teams in this league, or should I take us out and say top 9 above us because we are clinging on to 10th by a thread. All the teams above us have got the resources, the recruitment teams, the finances, the managers. They are quality.
They're quality,
teams.
bro.
West Ham battered us. They're 9th. They're just above us. They battered us early in the
Lads,
season.
did you guys see one manager in the stand at Old Trafford who was watching the game?
Sean Dyche.
Can you imagine?
He's taking
Sean
notes.
Dyche.
He's gone, my God, I'm going to have a mad field day with this Chelsea team.
do you know what notes he took? Right?
They
I
don't want to
guarantee
defend.
he's got one piece of paper and pen and watching and going, all right, my conclusion, Chelsea are shite. There we are. That's
And
the
he's gonna
prep
put it-
for Sunday.
He's going to put it on his the dressing room in Everton. He's going to put it there. Lads, have a look at what you're facing next up.
Facing shite.
And do you know what it is? It's like player quality wise, as individuals in an 11, West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle. I'm sorry, with one game a week, we shouldn't be behind these teams. These teams are all in Europe, and this is where I look at Pochettino. I think the board are like 70% to blame or 75% to blame. Then Pochettino has to get a really decent sized percentage, and then the players have to get a percentage as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I can't look at that team and think they should be in 10th with one game a week.
No way, no way.
What happened
No
to
way.
overperforming? Even if this is not your level, even if you're not a Champions League team, fine, cool. Do you know what? Fuck it. Maybe you're just a Europa League team, but my God, you are not going to fall below that. Like you, with one game a week, should be able to maybe overachieve based on your ability, right? Maybe you're performing above your ability, and you're getting into 6th, and you're above the teams that are the Brightons and the West Hams and the Newcastles who are on either thin squads or injury crisis or playing twice a week. Like, You've got to be able to at least mix it with those teams before you get the world-class players in. You have to. Not even doing that is massive underachievement. It's poor. It's very poor.
Let me tell you guys, Everton since 30th of October, 1-0 victory against West Ham away from home, 1-1 at home to Brighton, 3-2 victory against Crystal Palace away from home, 3-0 against Man United at home, which I kid you not, that is a fake score. I saw the match. Everton was all over Man United. They just got done because of some individual brilliance from certain players in Man United. Everton were all over Man United. And Everton, recent 1-0 victory against Forest. So what is it? 1, 2, 3 wins, 1 draw, and a loss. This is not a Mickey Mouse team we are playing, you know. It's a serious team that's in the last 5 has had 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
We won't win that game.
If we are going there thinking we're just going to rock up and just going to win.
Oh, we're not rocking up nowhere anymore. We're not even rocking up to Luton. Look what Luton did to Arsenal. Look what Fulham did to Liverpool. We're not rocking up nowhere anymore. We're not rocking. There's no rocking. There is no rocking up. This team can't afford to rock up nowhere. This team need to go out there and play like they are the relegation fodder that the form in the last year and a bit shows that we are. Our points per game is only worse. The only teams that are worse are the teams that have been relegated or be promoted, right? So you lot need to play like you are in a relegation battle, and then you might get some points. Then you might actually get some points. That's why when I said I saw 4 centre-backs on the weekend, I said, you do some long throws. Who could take long throws in this team? Win some set pieces, whip some balls into the box. We're trying to play out from the back yesterday under a press that we can't handle, and we're just getting time and time again, we're just turning over the ball.
Yeah.
Who do we think we are? Who do we think we are? At some point, we're going to have to get down to the basics of the game that is football and start, bruv. If you're playing 4 centre backs, I want to see as many set pieces as possible. Win your headers and get the ball into the back of the net, because it's getting. I'm always a person that likes to go performance, but also with you're looking at results, but I'm also looking at performance. But as we are saying, it's must wins now. We actually can't afford performances with no wins. We can't afford for performances with draws. We actually have to win football matches now. We have got to that point where you've exceeded your performance meter. Like, you've exceeded your performance, all that patience for performance. You have to win games. It's not optional. You can't not win any more football matches. It's not possible to do this. So you have to do anything. Any means necessary. You have to win football matches.
Oh, we will.
I don't really care how it's done. It's not like Pochettino's philosophy is like really fleshed out yet. Do you know what I mean? It's not like as if the press is continuous. It's not like as if the build-up play is impressive right now. The defending on set pieces and open play. Nothing right now. The team is getting worse. In pre-season against Liverpool, like, the team was playing better when he first came in to then how it is now. The team is just gradually getting worse and worse. So
yes.
With Poch in that case, was he always just that guy? Were we just maybe asking too much from someone like Poch? Was he just always going to be how we're seeing things now? Is that just Pochettino? Were we getting a bit too optimistic on what to expect from Poch? Like, that's a question.
No, I don't think so.
You know what has happened here? You know what has happened here, Younes? Wherever Poch has, besides PSG, right? We take that away. That's just an anomaly. He probably should have never got that job. Poch, wherever he's managed, the expectation really wasn't there to set the world on fire. Like, if you don't set the world on fire, you're fired. Like, it never was like that, right? Espanyol,
Southampton,
and
Spurs. Even Spurs. I don't think the objective was ever, you got to win the Premier League or, my brother, you're sacked, because that was not the case. There was never the expectation to do something magnificent. So what happened is, it was a relaxed condition where he can move at his own pace, and he got the better of that Spurs team. I'm not taking anything away, but I think that's how I'm reading it.
But he's had that at PSG though.
So that's what I'm saying. Like PSG,
Yeah.
just one anomaly, take that away. Now that he has come to Chelsea Football Club, from the get-go, the fan base, do you know what I mean? The logo, the emblem, the history since Roman at least have taken over. The expectation is, brother, you have to win. You have to. You got to do something. And I feel now it's a lot of pressure that I don't think he has faced in his life. This level of pressure, this type of pressure. Do you know what I mean? Like, and also we have to understand, Poch, when he was at Spurs, I don't recall the Premier League being this competitive up until like even the 7th, 8th team are so strong during that era. I don't recall like the Premier League being that like a dominant force. Now, literally anyone can beat anyone. Like a match against Brentford is not a guaranteed win anymore. Like that's a tough game. Do you know what I mean? Like Fulham almost did the number on Liverpool the other day. So I don't know whether Poch has come in a little bit. He's feeling a bit overwhelmed. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like, is he overwhelmed about the whole situation?
Well, it seemed like after yesterday's reaction, yeah. Because he looked flat. He looked arms crossed. You know, out of sorts.
He's got to hold so many hands, but even the seniors in the squad, like Reece James, captain, Ben Chilwell, vice captain. I mean, bruv, our captains are not captaining because they're either injured or they're not performing. So even your leaders are not leading. So who is going to lead the followers? That's my question. Who is going to lead the followers? He said the other day the only person that after a defeat he doesn't need to talk to is Silva because he knows what it is and he'll fix up. But everybody else needs a cuddle. Everybody else needs a cuddle.
Well, Jackson needs more than a cuddle.
Well, he clearly hasn't. Well, let me not even say too much because
He needs more than a cuddle.
Yeah,
And he was promised if he scores, he was gonna get something. But the guy can't score, bro.
he needs more motivation. Oh dear. Going off what Younes is saying, if you buy as a proper spine, won't you have FFP issue? That's what I'm saying. I feel like the time for that talk is pretty much over. I said it in the summer. They've made their decision. This is the route they're going down, and we're going to see if it works. Never said it was definitely going to work because I don't know half these players, but we're going to see if it works. They're taking a big risk. They've made their bed. They have to lie in it. They have to go down this route. It has to work. You can't spend $1 billion and then throw it all away and then spend another $1 billion. As far as I'm aware.
You know what I'm doing if I'm the owners? You know what I'm doing? Obviously, I'm waiting to see exactly where Poch takes us by the end of this month. But I'm seriously, if I'm the owners, I'm actually having a conversation with Winston Lee and Lawrence Stewart. I'll be like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What's going on? Or are they only just following orders from the owners anyway?
They have to be, bro.
Or are they just following orders? Are they actually running the show, or are they just following orders? What is it?
They have to be following orders because I can't imagine
if they're following orders, then why have them? Just have
whether if they're not following orders, then we've hired crap. If they are following orders, then we've hired a couple of yes men that are just going to do what the bosses above tell them to do. Which either way,
they're still responsible because they hide them. It doesn't matter. You can't run. You actually cannot. You can't. Don't go anywhere. You can't run.
Go anywhere.
You cannot run. I'm telling you. Don't go anywhere. Why are you running? Why are you running? Bro, you hired them. You're either telling them what the vision is, or you're not. Right? You're either telling them you got to buy under 25s, or you're not. Either way, you're in trouble. Because you hired them. The buck stops with the owners now. I said it this season. If we have a poor season, I'm going to them first because you guys are the consistent theme from last season and this season. I don't know about a lot of these players. They could have been superstars. They could have been very well scouted. They could have been unearthed talents that would have going to perform this season. We just don't know. But if they don't, you're in trouble. You're in trouble because you've taken a gamble. You've taken a risk. So it's all mad. Let me quickly go through these super chats. We are going to come to a close in the next few minutes because I got to go and get absolutely slaughtered elsewhere.
Is that a live? Is that a live, by the way?
Of course, Modi can believe. Of course. You guys need a systematic change of everything, whether you like it or not. But during Arsenal's transformation, Arteta removed and replaced pretty much every department possible. Same with your bro. We've done that. We already replaced everybody. We sacked all the medical. We signed the groundskeeper. We sacked the media, the comms. We sacked Chelsea TV, who used to cover the games at halftime. We sacked the players. We sacked the manager. We sacked the we sacked everybody.
Yeah, but with Arsenal, the one difference is it was Arteta and Edu together that were then appointing who needed to be put into every single position at that point. Those decisions were being made jointly by them two together. We've gutted everyone, hired everyone, then brought in Poch and gone, hello, go on then, do something. You know? So, yeah, with Arsenal, it's probably a different approach.
The mid-six is calling. Long day. Midfield looks so panic on the ball. Jackson, send him to Astrid Wet. Can't back a player who's here for a paycheck. Stuart Winstanley has to take blame. Yeah, they have to take blame for sure. The midfield shocked me because, like I said, the one thing that I thought, this can't look bad is the midfield. It can't. Enzo, Caicedo, and then when Lavia's back, like that, I'm sorry, that can't look bad. That can't look bad. I know Caicedo's not been in the Premier League long, but he had an outstanding season last season. Outstanding, playing in a much more pressurized system than ours. So we tried to jump the queue, which is something that we haven't always done with recruitment, and we've sometimes been late to the game. Tchouaméni is an example, right? We wanted Tchouaméni at Monaco. He had not shown enough, so we didn't get him. The next year he goes to Real Madrid. So we have to understand that sometimes you do have to jump the gun. However, there has to be some balance, as always. And this is what we're talking about with the stockpiling of young players and buying 16-year-olds for 40 million. And you need to stop. It's an addiction that needs to end because it's not going to help us right now. There's a balance to everything. You get a couple of players that you think you're banking on that may be a season early and you're trying to get ahead of the curve. You get a couple of players that have done it and proven it at the highest level. You get a couple of young players. You balance. Everything in life is about balance. Why not now? In this football club, why is there no balance now?
For our club, there's financial balance. It's the only balance we got going.
Yeah, the financial books won't be balanced very soon. That's the next problem.
Yeah.
What is the Ronaldo issue that made Tuchel sacked? I can't be asked to get into it, but basically, he doesn't like responding to stupid questions on WhatsApp. Conte turned this season around. 16-17, we were in 8th place. I still remember how angry Conte was after the Arsenal game. The rest is history. Yeah, this is not 2017 anymore, brother. I'm not gonna lie. Thanks for getting trust. Thanks for us getting Trossards. You're welcome. You're welcome. When Stanley and Stewart must be held accountable, how in the world are we going to trust this board in the January transfer window? Trenches, boys, FML. Gonna fly through these guys because I gotta go. It was Gallagher holding the team together. It's not even a laughing matter. Don't say that. Don't even say that, bro. It's not even funny. Bring back Sarri, looking better by the years. I think he's an underrated manager. I can't lie. The league changed, but Conte took us from 10th. Bro, you guys got to stop going on about this Conte season, bro. It's been a long time since that. It's been 6 years. 6 years, 2 ownerships, about 1,000 players and like 20 managers, bro. It's a big gap between Conte. You guys need to move on. We are not doing that.
This is all we got. This is all we got now, Matisse.
No one has done that. What even do you know how you know it's different? Because Leicester were literally in relegation zone and they went to win the league, bro. Yeah, the life changed, bro. Life has changed.
You know what? I'm surprised people are bringing up the Conte example when I think the Tuchel example is a lot more relevant and a lot more recent. You know, we were 9th when Lampard got sacked, and boom, Champions League win. You know, Club World Cup, Super Cup, this top 4 twice. Like that's a much more recent and relevant example that no one's really bringing up, and that only happened what felt like yesterday. So
yeah, that's the example to pull to for sure. Yeah, but this Conte stuff's listen, bro. Look at
the Conte stuff. We had JT and those lads, and
since then Conte's come to this league being sacked. Do you know what I mean? Talking about Conte, that brother just came back to the league and got sacked the other day. You can clearly see how rebuilds should be done by looking at Ange and Arteta. Start with the defense, then mid and attack. The last thing you worry about.
I agree.
Also profiles as well. I think profiles is very important, and I think we have unfortunately become a very fragile, weak team that have not blended technical ability with physicality and speed. We have gone down a very soft route to the point where we're saying that our midfield lacks energy. We are tossing up our defense because the pace isn't there. Because we can't play a high line because we don't have pace, but they're good on the ball when they should be both. We've got fullbacks that can't cross, fullbacks that can cross but can't overlap, that can't defend. We've got fullbacks that can't overlap, that need to invert because they can't go forward. We've got strikers that can't shoot but can link up play and can dribble. We've got wingers that can't cut in and shoot and be inverted wingers to score goals for the striker that can't score goals. And this is why when you look at each individual player, if you were to take that player, this is what I'll probably end it on before I give everybody last word. If you take in each individual player that we probably brought in and put them in a functioning, orderly system, they would probably actually flourish. But to put them all together under multiple managers, again, this is what happens. Scattergun. Didn't want to believe it, but when you're bringing in Poch who wants to press, but then you've got slow centre backs like Disasi, what are we doing here? You have to play a high line, no, to press. Final words, brothers. I'm not going to ask you to outro your channels, but the links are in the description. I'll do that for you. The links are in the description, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to everybody here. Whatever you want to say it, man. Miz, let the people know what you got to say, bro. Final thoughts.
What to say, bro? What to say? There's nothing to say. It's over. Like this season's over. So I'm just here now. That's it. I'm just here. Yeah, Younes, go for it, bro.
Nice one. Cheers. All those players you mentioned, 8-year contracts. Lovely. It's not ending anytime soon. Strategy in the bin. Owners in the bin. Recruitment in the bin. Manager in the bin. Players in the bin. We're in the bin. Season's over. Mid-table. Have a nice day.
Beautiful, bro.
Baba.
I got nothing to say. Absolutely nothing. Nothing to say. Nothing.
I respect it. Well, guys, I leave you with the last moment I felt real joy in my life. I bid you a good night, even though it's still good morning.
Matisse, enjoy the funeral.
We will not be enjoying shit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Is that when just few...
that's when Mudryk scored. That's my favorite part of the season. I'm done. Adios.